Travis Wayne Goodsell. I'd rather be in bed right now, but I get the impression and I follow it. Consequences come what may. And those consequences are typically Mormons and YouTube who attack me. YouTube on my TWG channel has been messing around with my hold for reserve comments. Not sure what they're doing there. But the death threats, threats to be silent, as YouTube is purposely shutting down my views. As you can see on Travis Wayne Goodsell, I used to get thousands. Ain't the case no more. After before conference, there was a breakout video that the prophets caused as they watched it before their meeting on Thursday. Oops, somebody forgot to tell them to look at my videos when you're not signed in. Otherwise, your video watching is recommended to those who subscribe to you or is following you or whatever it is. So anyway, I will not stop. I've dealt with bullies my whole life. I've dealt with the mafia, crime organizations, gangs, and I'm to the point where I've pretty much lost everything in my life. You know, the only thing that really has meaning is a wife, and those are gone. All two of them. And so, yeah, I'm the type of person who just doesn't care. If you're going to kill me, you're going to kill me. Otherwise, you're a coward. You're still a coward for killing me anyway. But the church got caught trying to have me assassinated. They were paying for it. I caught them. So how does that make the church true? So I won't stop. People are going to have to make me stop. And by making means they can't threaten me. They can't bully me. So the inspiration for the video, though, I'd rather be going to bed. Because, how many people are actually going to be convinced? I mean, definitely not the thumbs downers. The regulars already know all this stuff. But growing up in the church, we are assigned a specific curriculum for church history, for everything. Everything is correlated, and it's the same lessons and such all around the world in the different languages. And so the church is able to harmonize it, and it would be a great thing to have done, except that they leave stuff out. And when it comes to church history, there are lots of stuff that Mormons are still not being told, and they're not being told the correct information. We get told a traditional understanding of church history, and then we come to find out it's wrong, and we're given new information about church history, and we're supposed to accept that as the new history. Well, what about what you told us before? Why were you lying to us before? Are the prophets now all of a sudden finding things out? Do they not have the collection of records that used to be in the vault, if not transferred over to the new building across from the conference center? What's going on? All of a sudden the seer stone appears. Where was that my whole life? It was with the second wife. We took a trip downtown to go see the brand new opening of the Church History Museum about church history and about the Book of Mormon, coming forth of the Book of Mormon. And so we went down there, and we turned a corner, and there it was. It was just a picture, but I was like, what? What? What's going on? And it wasn't until the end of 2017 when the bishop said, hey, if you're going to continue to publish translations and make the prophets look bad, and I'm like, what? Look bad? What are you talking about? I'm showing that Joseph Smith is a translator. What's wrong with that? See, there's another thing I didn't know. Gospel topic essay, historicity and translation and historicity of the Book of Abraham, says no, Joseph Smith's not a translator. That's the official policy of the church. I had no idea I was a threat to the church and their authority. And I knew church history by what they told me, because I was, Mr. Perfect Attendance for the most part in everything, in church, temple, seminary, institute, etc. Did the mission and all that, and so I was like, what's going on? And I thought, oh, okay. I just filed it away as something I will get to when I want to get to it. I'm busy with translation. Nobody tells me to stop. Nobody tells me to be silent. Especially not a low-level bishop. But, it's surprising and shocking. But having gotten a higher education from an outside Utah school, I get taught correctly how to do research. And so when I finally got around, say, okay, I'm no longer welcome at church, so let's figure out what's going on. Why are Mormons just the most mean people in the universe? I don't understand it. I come to Utah thinking that they're holier, and instead they're holier than thou. What's going on? And so went and did church history. Started with my ancestor and his involvement at the Carthage jail. And what I learned, I had to stop and go, oh crap, I need to go back to the beginning. I need more information, because what's going on there was shocking, to say the least. So I went to Joseph Smith Sr. That's where I started, where he and Lucy Mack got married. And so here we have Joseph Smith Sr. on the Wikipedia page, and yeah, it's crap, but I'm going to go over it with you as to how you can discern correct information from, oh my God, what are they thinking? So Joseph Smith Sr., July 12th, 1771. And so I would recommend for you guys to get out a piece of paper, and for each person, each place, each time period, to have different pieces of paper, and then have a file system. If you can do it on a Word program, great. But every Mormon should be researching their church history. They shouldn't just go through the motions by having others tell them what to believe in. I would hope Mormons are actually trying to study the scriptures and the history and the doctrine, theology, the ritual, the administration. All Mormons should be experts in Mormonism. So this is my recommendation. And so, yeah, under Joseph Smith, you'd have his birth date. Well, what is the time frame here? Well, it's 5 years before 1776, when he'll be 5 years old, or about to turn 5 on the 4th of July. 8 days later. And he died, this is also important, September 14th, 1840. So 4 years before the death of Joseph Smith. And so, yeah, the father of Joseph Smith Jr. and others. Let's see, he was one of the 8 witnesses. And so that's something that needs to be understood, because when you look at who the 3 witnesses are versus who the 8 witnesses are, and you realize, hey, this is pretty much family that's involved, other than Martin Harris. Because you have the Cowdreys, who married into the Whitmer family, and then there's a Page that married into the Whitmer family as well. They're all related. Huh. Strange. And so those are the kinds of things you want to look for with those connections. And so, yeah, you're doing genealogical matching and all that stuff. And then they say golden plates. Well, that's wrong. Our canonized scripture says gold. So that's also important, because gold weighs more than golden, whatever golden's supposed to be. And now you understand why they're putting golden rather than gold. And so it's important to know that the canonized says gold. Now, I already know all of the church history, so I can already assure you, you want to focus that it's gold. Not golden, not copper, gold. And we're coming to it. But I won't go into it. I'm just going to go over this top introductory paragraph, and then I'm calling it a night. In 1833, he was named the first patriarch of the Church of Christ. So it wasn't called the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And an event in 1833 is he was finally named patriarch. What do patriarchs do? They give blessings, receiving revelation about what a person should do in their life. And he's the patriarch. He'd already been the patriarch of the family. That is important to know as well. In 1834, they're messing around with lies. Because the one text that they're talking about changing it to is not correct. Joseph Smith was talking about it, but he wasn't renaming the church. And I don't think anybody understood that, except for Brigham Young wanted to rename it anyway, but that's deeper into your study. But just know that it was called the Church of Christ, not Jesus Christ. Joseph Sr. was a member of the First Presidency. That's important to know. But it doesn't say when. And so Sidney Rigdon and his dad are in the First Presidency. Huh. That's important to know, because the First Presidency are the head leadership of the church. And it's Sidney Rigdon. Those who are regulars already know where that's going. And Joseph Smith Sr. Remember? Gold plates. Patriarch. First Presidency. and a Freemason in Ontario Lodge number 23 of Canandaigua, New York. And they're claiming a citation is needed. Oh dear God. So you would search for the citation. You'd easily find it. There are other extemporaneously documents, am I getting the right word? Outside sources from Mormonism who will give you the source. It's well known. So it's ridiculous that they're calling for a citation here. So you need to make sure you know which Freemasonry it is, because you're going to have to study Freemasonry. And there isn't just a general Freemasonry. There are two main ones, Scottish Rites and York Rites, and you're going to need to know the distinction between the two. And then the location, Canandaigua, New York. Because when you get to another church history figure, Heber C. Kimball, to give you a little cheat, you're going to come across that again, and you're going to go, what? Because down in the early life, in the second paragraph, it says he was raised to the degree, rank, of Master Mason. That's why it's important to know the different lodges, different York Rites, Scottish Rites. On 7th of May, 1818. And so when you realize that the church isn't even talking about this, it must have been a struggle for them to finally say, okay, fine, you can put it on the Wikipedia page, but don't you dare put a citation. So oh my God. And so that's how you do it, is that you have all the things listed out, and when you find a match with a place and a time and an event, you get a bigger picture of the puzzle that is the real church history. And yeah, it will shock you, because all of these little things that I've been telling you about will all make sense, and it is quite an interesting and fascinating story. And you then go, why isn't the church telling us this? Why are they lying to us? Why are they holding it back and having to come out with just a little bit at a time rather than coming out with the full information? And then you start getting closer to Carthage jail, and then you go, oh, I now see. And you even see earlier, as like I said, Heber C. Kimball, Brigham Young. So yeah, even with Harmony Susquehanna River, Pennsylvania, there's some problems with that. So those problems you need to keep an eye on, because Harmony Susquehanna River was no longer named that by 1818, let alone 1827, when Joseph Smith supposedly went there. So why is he calling it that when it was not called that when he got there? Again, these are things I already know, and I'm giving you tips and clues if you haven't seen those videos. And so I don't understand why Mormons are afraid. They shouldn't be, unless they think that Brigham Young's branch off must be true, otherwise their whole lives are over. Like I said, nobody threatens me. People will either tell me the truth or I will find it for myself. And if it turns out that Joseph Smith is a witch who started a child sex cult for the purpose of obtaining money, if you saw the video I did today with the thumbnail, so be it. I want to know. I don't want to belong to a fraud. If the bishop's going to threaten me saying, you either drop your research or you can't come to church anymore, I'm not going to church anymore. It's that simple. Did he honestly think that, oh no, okay, I'll stop doing translation work and showing Joseph Smith as a translator? Seriously? Mormons are messed. It's just sickening. I don't know why you're so threatened. If you want to search for the truth, why aren't you doing it? Instead, you expect the rest of us to believe the lies, and that we have to accept it, and we have to leave you alone. No, we can't. And I'm a perfect reason why we can't. You guys are criminal. You guys are purposely committing crimes. That's what it is called when you try to threaten somebody with their life or to be silent. Those are crimes. Those don't make you Christ-like. Those make you the bad people. And who's on the bad side? Who's the leader of the bad side? Yeah, and you'll come to that in church history too. Right after the Carthage jail, with a certain temple.